Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. For years, the Republicans have been complaining about voter fraud, specifically in-person voter fraud, which would mean that they think the Democrats are organizing thousands of illegal aliens, or else just people who wouldn't vote, to go out and vote pretending to be somebody else, pretending to be a real voter. Now, they've never been able to find any evidence of that for the simple reason that it doesn't happen. Think about it. Think of the organizing effort that this would be. Democrats would have to go from state to state, organizing thousands of people in each state to go out and vote pretending to be somebody else, and hoping that it would never leak out. And that's just impossible. But even though it doesn't happen, the Republicans have used it as an excuse to pass laws targeted at people of color, students, and the poor. In other words, people that are likely to vote Democrat. And so they've been depriving thousands of American citizens of their right to vote. Now, in 2016, there was a race between Democrat Ray Cooper and Republican Pat McCrory. And when it got real close, the Republicans once again complained of voter fraud again, with no evidence. And Republican McCrae Dowless, remember that name, it's going to be important, alleged that hundreds of fraudulent ballots have been cast in his county. So he was invited by the Board of Elections to discuss his complaint. Of course, he was unable to provide any evidence that it happened. And when the board started questioning him about what he was doing in the election, he invoked the Fifth Amendment, his right against self-incrimination. And no wonder, because today Dowless stands accused of orchestrating a massive voter fraud operation in Bladen County in North Carolina. What he did, well, Republican Mark Harris hired Dowless as a political consultant. I don't know what Dowless did as far as consulting went, but what he did do was obtain 600 absentee ballots and then hired people to fill them out and forge signatures of real voters. He also got a hold of at least 1,000 ballots that had been cast for Democrats and either destroyed them or threw them away. And here is the truth. This is the kind of voter fraud that happens a lot. And it is done by Republicans. Republicans also routinely do things like limiting the number of polling places in areas that vote Democrat. Eliminating the number of polling places means that it creates long lines and discourages a lot of people from voting. They can't wait around all day to vote. Republicans know that the more people are allowed to vote, the bigger their chances are of losing. So they make it as difficult as possible for people who will vote for them to exercise, vote against them to exercise their right to vote, while meanwhile putting in extra polling places in Republican areas. This is how Republicans cheat, and they do it all the time. And at the same time, as a diversion, they accuse Democrats of cheating when there is absolutely no evidence. This is why Donald Trump and the Republican Party are the biggest threat to our democracy since Adolf Hitler.